Has CD Projekt Red fixed Cyberpunk enough for you to return in this incredible beautiful franchise that is Cyberpunk 2077? In this review I will go on look if it is worth for you to return into this beloved franchise that everyone loves to shit on. We'll be going to look at the good, the bad and the ugly of this franchise, what works and what still doesn't. If you like me and many other gamers out there, and you came back to the Cyberpunk 2077 thanks to the incredible manga that is Cyberpunk Edgerunners, made by Studio Trigger, anime producer known for the works on animes like Little Witch Academia and Killer Killer. In this spoiler-free review I'll be going on to let you know if it is worth it for you to return into this franchise in 2022. But let us be clear, it doesn't matter how good the anime is, it is all about how good or stable this game is right now. And I have to say, it is Studio Trigger best anime work so far. If you haven't seen Cyberpunk Edgerunners yet, and it truly doesn't matter if you're an anime lover or not, I do definitely recommend you to go and check it because it's truly a work of art. And hands down in my top 10 of the best animation that we had in 2022. But we are here to understand if the game can live into its newfound hype. As while I'm writing this review, Cyberpunk has found a new wind on its sail, with an amazing staggering community of 68,613 players playing at the exact moment me writing this review. So we'll be looking at the core gameplay, the world designing, the store building, the quality of the quests. So I would say buckle up, relax, because we are going for a bumpy ride through Night City itself. But most importantly, I'm your host Punk Hazard itself. Welcome to my channel. But before anything, if you do like this content, do not forget to press a like, leave a comment down below and subscribe yourself to the channel. Because in this part of the channel, we let you know every single thing that you need to know about games itself, and we break it down raw and honest. So let's do this, fam. Let's go. I first played Cyberpunk 2077 on December 2020, a week after its release date. Back then I wasn't a streamer nor a content creator whatsoever. I was just a normal marine with a passion for video games. Hell, I can still remember how excited I was for this game. With my collector's edition at hand, I knew I was going for a unique experience. As a gamer and an open world RPG enthusiast, manga lover like Gundam, Akira, Appleseed, Ghost in the Shell, Steam Boy. I knew that this game was made for players and gamers like myself. And boy, what a unique experience it was. But you need to remember, when I tried to play this game like many gamers and players out there on my PS4 system and my old laptop RTX 1080, I have to say on my PC port it wasn't playable at all. Nothing worked, not a single thing worked. This game may even crashed my damn fucking PC. When they said that we're going to live in a future with flying cars, I didn't expect this crap I was seeing in this game. But with sheer luck, from a very weird way, my PS4 port was stable enough for me just to enjoy just a little bit and eventually to finish it. After that I never touched this game ever again. Even if I played it on my PS4 ports, the level of bad design, game-breaking bugs I encountered was just baffling that this game even ever received a green light to be shifted on the world market itself. So 2 years later has passed. This game has received a lot of game-breaking fixes, quality of life improvements, and overall rebalancing of this game and the problem it had on launch. So today I'm doing a review and a closer talk at what Cyberpunk 2077 actually looks like past patch 106 of the Edgerunners itself. And this review is going to be based on everything that has been changed during the patch 106 and past it moving forward to this beautiful game. Now believe it or not, but we've been roaming around Night City on and off for the last 2 years. On that time, CD Projekt Red has done significantly quality of life improvements into this franchise, with brand new updates, constant changes, bug fixes across all formats, and with patch 105 that came across with ray tracing on the next gen formats, alongside performance and resolution improvements, but unfortunately had to leave one console in the rain. The Series S saw its bigger boys get fancy new upgrades, but unfortunately had to be left in the rain with a single 30 frames per second mode. But with patch 106 it can now join the fun. So let's see what truly changed into Cyberpunk 2077. As I write this review, I played Cyberpunk 2077 on patch 106, and it came with a ton of quality of life changes, balance, performance, resolution issues have been solved, a ton new content from DLCs and weapons and much more. Of course I will not go through all of them, but I will highlight what is the most important, that significantly what I saw and truly changed my experience into Night City in a positive way. Let's talk about performance and resolution, because as a gamer that is the first thing that I saw and noticed while playing any form of game. For me as a gamer, that is the most important thing that allows me to enjoy a game as long as needed. There's nothing more enjoyable playing a game with breathtaking scenery and with steadfast frame rate. What we do know and have tested regularly by the community and by myself, patch 105 by itself was great. It offers a ray tracing and a steadfast 30 frames per second for the next gen console, Xbox and PlayStation. The performance mode was the same besides some small ditches while traveling, and occasional dips and some tearing and heavy screen fighting battles all around. It was a very smooth version of the game on both consoles, Xbox and PlayStation. And both patches 105 and 106, consoles still run with DSR solution and is still the case today. Besides the technical aspect of all of this, both games look stunning on both PlayStation and Xbox Series X. With a booster and visual quality and the ray tracing, you tend to forget how far this game actually came from, how good it looks today. Performance wise, there is no real life changes here. It may have some engine tweaks left and right that helped in some cases, but in our live test we can see a steadfast 30 frames per second lock on ray tracing on both machines, Xbox and PlayStation. Identically on the patch 105, on the both hold and consistency across all platforms, with lock 30 frames per second on the last gen consoles even, which include loading and all platforms. Everything runs smooth and is quite fast right now. Remember that all the systems now run with VRR, if your TV can handle it. That means if the tearing can be removed now. Dipping below the 50 frames per second make the performance is the way to go for you if you truly want to enjoy the visual aspect. Of course, if you choose FPS over ray per seconds. Across the board we can see that the dev truly worked very hard at making sure that the game runs stable, smooth and looks visually stunning across all platforms. The saddest thing about the story is that it took us 2 years to get in this part. The other thing that I noticed while playing Cyberpunk 2077 is that all the cars drive smoothly. I know that is something that is quite difficult to showcase on screen, but trust me when I say, now you at least have a feeling you're driving with an actual car. And yes, it is not in par with the GTA car system or even Forza or Gran Turismo. At least what we can say now today, playing Cyberpunk 2077 and patch 106 is truly a joy just cruising through Night City itself and enjoying this beautiful scenery of this beautiful game. Beside the performance and the balance issues that had been solved in patch 106, patch 106 gave us a ton of new contents to enjoy. From new gig jobs, weapons, a new character customization option that you can do at all times. Now that the game is mostly played in first person view, besides when you are in front of a mirror or on your bike, is a nice thing to have and given to the community itself. Well, now you can customize your character completely every single time that you want. It gave us a little bit of a hope that maybe one day we can have a third person view into this game. Another thing they can see visually as well have a slight improvement is the police system. And let us be clear, the police system up to this day is still very bad. But the only way difference we can truly see is that right now that the police now doesn't spawn directly behind you anymore, more in a surrounding area where you are. The bounty system is increased in form its duration itself, so make sure that you need to do your best just a little bit to invade the police. The police itself system now works a little bit better in trying to find you as well and trying to be more engaging in your pursuit in certain areas. Overall, there is a system that still needs to be improved, and there's a lot of things that still needs to improve until it becomes even remotely on par with the GTA police system. Hopefully, as a gamer myself, I can hope on the next DLC that's coming next year and a patch 107 that these changes truly changes, because this is one of the key aspects that truly makes the immersion of this game solid. Another thing that was visually noticeable is the crowd system within the game itself. Now if you shoot or any form of engagement you do with the NPC and the crowd itself, you can see there's a certain form of engagement with you as a player and the world that you live in. If you're even lucky, you're gonna find an NPC that's actually trying to fight you back in certain form of vigilante. As a slight change that happens from the first release date when you are engaging with the crowd, and back in the days when you are trying to shoot or do anything to disturb the crowd just at least shuts down, sits in a bubble and doesn't do anything. But now you can see there's a certain form of response in the situation that you have and what you do in the world itself. It's quite really nice to see. Another thing that's been changed and been improved is the traffic system. Now if you're trying to block the road of your NPCs, you can see that certain NPC you have a tendency to find a different path, try to pass you. But it is still not a completely fixed system, because a lot of instances if you do block the path, the NPC just stands there and do nothing. As you can see, there's a lot of things that still needs to be improved, and a lot of things has been improved for quality of life and just simply the balance of the game itself. I can say that Cyberpunk at this point, that Cyberpunk is truly right now in a good place to play. Expressing yourself throughout a character is one of the most exciting things that you can do in an RPG genre. So it is important to have a lot of choices to create a character and an avatar that you want. And Cyberpunk provides you with impressive options of character customizations, options for both male and female players, not only in aesthetic but as well in playstyle. The character creation is simple and intuitive to use. You have plenty of options from hairstyles, makeup, cyberware, piercings and etc. to create a true futuristic badass. And yes, the majority of the game is a first person view. Besides, if you are in front of a mirror or on a bike, it's still a very cool option to have in form of immersion and your role playing experience in these type of games. And of course, as a gamer itself, I can only hope that one day we can get a third person options within this game. So CD Projekt Red, if you are listening, do take notice, because that is something that the community wants as soon as possible. Beside of the character creation, the build variety is even as impressive as the latter. Let's see what kind of options we have. But first, we need to understand what attributes are within Cyberpunk 2077. For you to understand how build works within Cyberpunk 2077, you need to understand what attributes are. The attributes are the 5 unique attributes you have within Cyberpunk 2077. That is body, intelligence, reflex, technical ability, and cool. Each of these attributes lets you improve a specific skill tree that contains the different form of perks. For example, body determines your raw physical power, allow you to force open doors, remove torrents from the base, intimidate NPCs, and even force your way into some vehicles. Your body attribute is linked to your physical, athletic, annihilation and street baller skill lines. On the other hand, intelligence, it works and determines your net running proficiency, including hacking into different form of devices and even enemy cyberware. Your intelligence attributes is linked to the breach protocol and hacking skill line. Reflex, on the other hand, determine your maneuverability as a critical chance evasions and provide proficiency with mantis blades. Your reflex attributes is linked to the handguns, assaults and blade skill tree. Your technical ability represents your technical know-how in a wide range of instances, from robots to weapons to vehicles. It allows you to unlock tech locks and doors and make better use of technical weapons. Your technical ability attributes is linked to crafting, engineering and skill tree. Your cooldown. Cooldown determines your composure and effectiveness in operating under pressure, particularly in stealth. Your cool attributes is linked to your ninjutsu, your stealth techniques and your cold-blooded tree lines. And all of these skill lines and the attributes are truly going to determine how you approach this game and play this game in a unique way. But remember, you are limited in form of attribute points you can put, and you can not put all the attribute points in your very first playthrough. And as you have a difficulty in respeccing these attribute points in form of endgame, so it truly is important that you put your attribute points in a correct way, and it determines a type of playstyle you want to play, for example. Now you're wondering how many attribute points you actually get from the start. In Cyberpunk 2077, you start with a character creation screen with 3 attribute points, and each of these you have 5 starting attribute points, for a total of 15 points. Before leaving the character creation, you need then to spend 7 additional attribute points and attributes you choose. Keep in mind that the maximum you can allocate into attributes during the character creation is 6. You need to spread those attribute points quite a bit. In addition, attribute points control the maximum of skill in the game. In other words, your character skill cannot progress higher than the strength of the attribute points that are attached to it. For example, a character with 9 intelligence will have a maximum quick hacking skill of 9 as well. How do you get more attribute points, you ask then? You gain 1 attribute points per every time your character increases the level in Cyberpunk 2077. And so what is the maximum attribute points you have? The maximum attribute points level in Cyberpunk 2077 is 20 points. In other words, your attribute points cannot be increased beyond 20 points. And which attribute points are the best then? Well, truly is a player choice. At the core, the attribute points that you build your character towards a specific strength. You want to play a strong solo style build, then well, it's up to you to choose close melee weapons. You want to focus on heavy into body attribute points for more melee weapons, powers and perhaps a bit of reflex for more critical hit chances. You want to play as a Netrunner playstyle like Lucy and Edgerunner itself, then instead in order to hack your enemy from a distance, then intelligent attribute points will do you the best. In general, we'll see that the following builds that will work the best for your playlist style. You truly have to see which style you want to go. And then we have, of course, which attribute affects with skill tree. Each attribute point in Cyberpunk 2077 is also linked to a specific skill tree. Your skill tree attributes level determine the highest level of perks you can earn in that skill tree. Your skill tree also cannot be level higher than the points you have invested into the attribute. For example, if you have a cool attribute points of 10, your ninjutsu skill will be also the cap of 10. Always keep that in mind. And how your attribute points affect the story outcome in generally? Throughout the game, you will be given several options of how you complete the missions and explore the surrounding world. Some of the options will be linked to your character attribute points. You need to get into enemies behind a heavy security door. While you have enough body attribute points, you can simply just muscle your way through it or hack your way through every single thing. The alternative, if you have enough intelligent attribute points, you can hack the security system in order to open doors as well. So how you approach certain situation truly depends on your build style and your play that you play for the very first time. So keep that in mind. What you have as well within Cyberpunk 2077 is weapon, armor and cyberware restrictions. Some weapons and armor cyberware pieces can only be equipped if you meet a certain minimum attribute points. That is the most often the case with higher level of variety items. So also keep that in mind as you proceeding and playing through Cyberpunk for the very first time. If you want to know more about all these things, definitely let me know. I'll give you an even in-depth guide within my channel. Night City is one of the most aesthetic pleasing game world that I personally set my eyes on. With its wet, neo-lit dystopian city being its biggest character in its game itself, you can only be mesmerized with the stunning visuals and scenery that this game has to offer. But it's just too bad there's just so little things you can actually interact with this game and this universe. With most of the buildings have locked doors that cannot be entered, storefronts have no interest or no customers, and just people in the game itself just walk around and do absolutely nothing. Like many things into this game, the interactivity of Night City itself doesn't live up with CDPR expectations and the hype of this game itself. And yes, the world is stunning, but let's be honest, graphic and aesthetics just go as far. But don't get me wrong guys, Night City itself is a lot of fun to explore in your very first playthrough. But just the amount of content that hasn't been added or places you can visit make you feel like Night City is completely a dead city. The world feels empty, especially at night. There is no active metro system, bowling, clubbing, nothing interesting that's happening in the game that makes you think that it's a true living urban city. The saddest thing about Cyberpunk is when you start playing the game and you start cruising around this game, you say like, oh man, this game is awesome. But at a certain point, you just stop caring about it. Because why? There is no real reason for you as a gamer to go and explore this vast open world. There is none. It's because of that, then you start fast traveling at every single point of it, and you're just missing the aestheticness of this beauty. And I truly hope in the sequel Cyberpunk 2077 that CDPR truly make sure that they flesh out this world design even better. And I hope in the next DLC that's coming out, they add more content that truly is deserving to make Night City truly live, because at this point right now, it just simply isn't. Storytelling and compelling quests is probably one of the most important reasons why I personally play RPGs. And I have to say and tell, Cyberpunk's story and questline are just simply amazing and super fun to do. Cyberpunk has one of the most wildest and memorable quests I personally ever played in a video game. For that reason I will try to be as vague as possible for just not to avoid any form of spoilers for newer gamers who are willing to try this game for the very first time after this review. But if you're going to encounter story questlines and characters like Lizzie Wheelie, Johnny Silverhand graveyard storyline, the reborn convicts that turn themselves to a Christians and a mayor, this is probably one of the most amazing forms of storyline and storytelling I played in an RPG in a very long time. Especially if you just reconsider the storyline of Johnny Silverhand and his graveyard questline. The way that quest has been told and told, it really will make me rethink what is the most valuable thing in life itself. And that's something that I truly didn't expect from CD Projekt Red. And it just has a bad thing that this game came out in just a poor way and an unpolished state. Because many won't experience the best thing that this game has to offer. Unless of course if they follow my gameplay walkthrough that is linked on the description down below after you subscribe yourself to the channel. In Cyberpunk 2077 you will find probably one of the most wackiest characters, for most scintillating plot lines and stunning locations. These are what makes Cyberpunk probably the most memorable and fun to play. The only thing that I have a form of main criticism, if you even may call it a criticism, at this point into the game, is the way that the game is truly unpolished. There's the lack of content into the game after endgame. There's no such thing as New Game Plus mode or any form of side activity that you can enjoy after you finish this amazing game and story. And yes, Cyberpunk and CD Projekt Red has made promises and addressed that all these matters I made today in this review will be addressed in the next DLC and the next patch that's coming next year. The only thing that we can hope as a gamer is not only to wait and see and hope that these promises aren't vague. The question is here of course, is Cyberpunk worth your time to replay? Is it worth your time to come back to the franchise? If it's worth your time to buy it for the very first time, then I would say yes. But it is important that you quench your expectations. Yes, it is true that Cyberpunk is evolving and is stable and it truly is at this point the best period to come back into this franchise. But one thing you need to know, if you're coming to Cyberpunk thinking that is the best thing since sliced bread, then you're going for a different expectation. If you think you're coming to this game thinking that you will be playing a story-driven RPG with a lot of different choices like with The Witcher 3, well, you'll be a little bit sorry mistaken. But if you are looking for a fun open world science fiction game with intriguing character and breathtaking scenery, and the game is always evolving every single day with patches that are coming on a regular basis, then I would say yes, Cyberpunk is truly a game you should play, as it's generally because this game you can see in a visual aspect and a stability aspect as well. This game is truly did remarkable improvements since 2 years ago, and I will definitely say this game is worth your time to replay it. But just be sure that this is not GTA, this is not The Witcher 3 or any other open world game that you love and you have the expectation to see within this game. Empty promises again. The same expectation that you have as a gamer is the same expectation I have as a gamer as well. And I hope the next patches coming next year and the next DLCs and the next expansion of this game truly make sure that the problems that we are having right now that still resist themselves within Cyberpunk are completely changed, that we can see a 180-degree change. But all of this content you will see and hear firsthand here within this channel itself. And if you did like this content, do not forget to smash the like button, you comment down below, and subscribe yourself to the channel. Give me a thought, give me your feedback, what you think about Cyberpunk generally. If you played it, you watched my let's play, or is it generally if you're willing to come back, definitely let me know in the comments down below. Have you any form of questions about me whatsoever, you can reach me always on Discord, Twitter, Twitch and Instagram, and all those social media pages of course is written in the descriptions down below. And the most important easy thing is literally one click button away. In my YouTube page you will find yourself straight to the representative page. I will say come and show some love, help your home team out, because it truly helps me, my algorithm helps me grow as a content creator. In form of your feedback and definitely your likes. Also smash the like button, subscribe, and definitely don't forget to hit the notification bell so you definitely never miss out on any single thing that I do within my channel itself, in form of Cyberpunk or any other games that I stream, play and enjoy yourself. I will say thank you very much, and I'll see you all at my live streams, on my let's play, and my gameplay walkthrough. I'm your host, the Punk Hazard itself. Welcome to my channel, and see you next time guys. Take care, one love, always, peace. Merci beaucoup, à plus et au revoir, ciao ciao.